Welcome home to philosophy, where we wonder about everything and anything is possible. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Corey, the Laughing Philosopher. Life is complicated, the world is complicated, and you are complicated. Figuring out how to live a happy, meaningful life, guided by wisdom and reason, is not easy. Is life a game? What is love? Should I fear death? Is this a just world? Almost from the moment of birth, you've been told how to behave, how to fit in, and how to fulfill other people's expectations. You fear that you will lack importance or cease to exist in the lives of others if you think for yourself and question the rules and roles you've been told define you. Wisdom and reason will remove this illusion so you can live authentically in the world around you, find your true purpose, and become your real self. Welcome to episode number 110, Seneca's Stoic method for mastering anger and averting conflicts. There is no perfect life. Everyone has weaknesses and failings. Even Jesus got angry, lost his temper, and broke things. In fact, ancient Stoic philosophers considered anger to be the worst of all character failings, and the one evil that surpasses all other vices. Seneca even described anger as a temporary form of insanity. In fact, Seneca wrote an entire book called On Anger, just because of how crazy and out of their minds people behave when they are enslaved by anger. He wrote, "You only need to see the symptoms of those seized by anger to know they are insane." Other vices, like greed and vanity, merely pollute our thoughts and actions. Anger hijacks the mind like a madness. And that's just half of anger's destructive consequences. The other half is suffered by its targets, those on the receiving end of one's anger. Extreme anger can destroy relationships. Anger causes parents to hate their children and children to hate their parents. Anger turns friends into enemies. Anger turns neighbor against neighbor. Anger causes nations to go to war against strangers they know almost nothing about. Anger destroys families, marriages, friendships, work groups, communities, and nations. For Seneca and the Stoics, anger is the worst evil and most destructive of all human emotions. Anger between married or committed partners routinely happens over important matters like money, parenting, and sex, and lesser matters like household chores. Whose turn is it to walk the dog in the rain? Who folds the laundry? Who pays the bills? Who controls the remote? Name something, and people will get angry, and arguments about it will happen. and happen because of feelings and judgments that they have been unjustly wronged. So, why do we get angry? Almost from the moment of birth, we are socialized and deeply conditioned to believe that this is a just world. That this is a just world where the good are rewarded, not punished, and the evil are punished and not rewarded. Justice and freedom are such inspirational concepts that without them, we would lose our enthusiasm for life. If we could not believe that the human will is free and justice will triumph, then we would lose the motivation required to engage with the day-to-day world and drop out. We have a practical and deeply held belief in justice and freedom that is necessary to go on living. If this were not a just world, no one would want to live, even if he had all other good things. And we believe what we wish to be true. Anger arises from the judgment that we have been unjustly harmed or wronged. You feel like you've been harmed. You feel wronged. You feel like you've been treated unjustly by another who acted unjustly. Once we are convinced that we have suffered an injustice, we then demand retribution in order to correct the injustice and retaliation in order to punish the offender for causing us to suffer unjustly. You feel like you deserve to seek vengeance. Jesus flipped over tables, smashed things, cursed, shouted, and didn't try to hide his rage and fury, but unleashed it against injustice. The ancient Stoics believed that anger could be avoided and negative emotions could be eliminated before they develop. The most important part of you is between your ears. Your thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs are mental judgments that are within your power to control. A wise person can avoid making those judgments that lead to anger. That is, if one knows how. You don't know how. By the end of this episode, I will teach you the Stoic way to manage your anger and keep your cool, even when your sense of justice is provoked. Anger is one of many human feelings, but anger is not a normal emotion. It is a destructive emotion. Stoics believe that anger is caused by beliefs and other mental judgments that are incorrect and false. Beliefs are not facts. Beliefs are not evidence. Beliefs are not proof. Beliefs are just claims. Thinking it doesn't make it true. Believing it doesn't make it true. The unwise mind holds the false belief that every belief must be true, or it wouldn't be in the mind in the first place. And yet, in between one's ears are a great many half-truths, exaggerations, total falsehoods, and uncritical assumptions. And because it is based on false beliefs and false judgments, anger is a mistake that can be corrected and avoided. Seneca argued that the first and most powerful tool in defeating anger is delay. Slow down, take your time, pause, give your rationality and reason and good sense time to deliberate and evaluate your feelings about what happened to you. Only a good judgment can erase a bad judgment. Never accept a belief that you have been wronged at face value. If you hit yourself on the head with a book and you hear a hollow sound, it isn't necessarily true that the book is empty. False beliefs, at first glance, to the casual eye, can appear to be true. And how false beliefs wind up between your ears in the first place. Never make snap judgments. Don't act without deliberation or act in excessive haste. Analyze your feelings and choose your response. Anger can only arise when you decide it is justified. Decide whether your first feelings are justified by verifiable facts and circumstances, by the truth. Nothing is so difficult as not deceiving oneself, said Wittgenstein. We see what we want to see, and we believe what we wish to be true. It's easy to see imaginary things that aren't there and to overlook real things that are there, but hidden by familiarity. The truth is hard to come by. You won't find it just by asking a stranger for it. It takes hard effort and hard attention to discover the truth. And the unwise choose to believe what they are told by a blonde stranger on TV, rather than search, grow tired, and give up. Take your time, thinking for yourself and making up your own mind can be hard. Hard work. Delay. Ancient Stoic philosophers recognized anger as an important and regular feature of relationships and discovered a simple and easy process to manage anger in order to avoid an argument, de-escalate an argument, or settle an argument. And today, science has demonstrated experimentally that Stoicism is right. So, what's the scientific solution to anger and arguments of all kinds? In an article published on August 7, 2024, in the journal Communications Psychology, Volume 2, Number 73, researchers discovered that in an argument, couples will match one another's anger, aggression, and hostility, thus escalating the argument and its negative outcome and consequences. A disagreement over dog walking duties escalates into what is known in sociology as a kitchen sink argument, an argument over everything from politics to religion to the existence of UFOs. This cycle of escalation and retaliation is caused by each individual's perception of their partner's emotional arousal and hostility. The question is then, how to reduce aggression by reducing anger and emotional arousal when couples achieve a provoked state of mind? And science's answer is the same Stoic remedy Seneca provides for the destructive power of anger. Time out. In the experiment, researchers confirmed a pattern of matching aggression for aggression. And this pattern of escalation was disrupted when couples were forced to take a short break or timeout. A 5-second break was found to be effective in reducing tensions and equally as effective as longer breaks of 10 or 15 seconds. Research shows that reducing negative emotions and ending an argument before it escalates seems to be possible even through the briefest of pauses. Seneca is right, and delay is the most effective shield against the flames of anger. Second, to master rage, think critically. You have the power to examine what happened to you, evaluate your feelings of being harmed, and choose whether to consent to your anger. Question your belief that you've been unjustly harmed or wronged, and question your judgment that revenge is justified. In the words of Epictetus, no one will harm you without your consent. You will only be harmed when you think you are harmed. Master and defeat anger by applying critical thinking to a false belief before allowing it to take hold. Think critically by reflecting on the fact that bad people with bad character are unwise, stupid, and foolish. The unwise don't think before they act and have no idea what they're doing. Even when they do, the unwise make avoidable mistakes and do stupid things in error. The unwise are remarkably poor predictors of their own behavior, and for this reason are prone to make promises they can't keep. Don't let other people hurt or upset you by taking them too seriously. Look down on bad character as trivial and beneath you, and unworthy of offending you, and unworthy of you taking offense to their bad behavior. Bad people with personality defects and character failings are more likely to upset you. And yet, their weaknesses and deficiencies also make their mistakes easier to forgive and make themselves easier to forget. Knowing yourself and knowing what makes you angry, don't expose your hot buttons to the foolish and unwise, who are more likely to irritate and upset you. Forgive others simply because you too are not a perfect person. Forgive others for their imperfections just as you forgive yourself for your own imperfections. And as a final recourse, just remind yourself of this Latin phrase in Stoic tradition: memento mori. It means remember your mortality, or more broadly, all human beings must die. When someone begins to anger you, just remind yourself that it won't be long before death makes us all equal. No one is remembered, everyone is forgotten, and all of our proudest achievements will be nothing more than dust in the wind. Change your focus to other matters that mean more to you. Keep calm and stoic on. And third, guard against outrage. Disengage. Expect the world to be full of people with bad character. Bad behavior is everywhere, and sometimes bad things will happen to good people, and good things will happen to bad people. We don't want to admit this to ourselves, but a great deal of what happens to us is just the result of luck, good and bad. If we don't shield ourselves against the destructive power of anger, so many bad things are happening to outrage and inflame us that we would need to be angry every moment of every day, and life would not be worth living. In losing the battle against anger, no one would choose to live. And they do, every day, by the dozens. So disengage from social media and steer clear of real-life sources of anger and outrage. Stop wrongdoing and bad behavior from provoking your anger simply by denying your attention to every possible outrage. Don't get angry simply by avoiding the primary sources of outrage, whether online or in person. Whenever you need to restore mental calmness and balance, the Stoic cure for an angry mind is to ignore strange and aggressive persons as vexations to the spirit. The most precious gift you can give is your attention. It's your most valuable possession, and you only have so much of it to give. Spend it wisely. Philosopher Martin Heidegger, in his book Being and Time, discusses how we project ourselves into the past, present, and future. We are pulled backward from the present into the past, or pulled forward from the present into the future. The present is the only true reality, and yet we are in the now only some of the time. Into the past, we experience a profound sense of guilt and shame as a result of the uncomfortable certainty that we are not what we could have been. We didn't realize the dreams we had about ourselves in the past. Into the present, We experience a sense of betrayal and disloyalty as a result of our unrealized potential for total, absolute freedom. We sacrifice our freedom to choose how to live and default to satisfying other people's demands and expectations. We disgrace ourselves by being unfaithful to our desires because we are afraid to risk losing the acceptance and approval of others. And we project ourselves into the future, where we must face up to the horizon of death. We experience fear, anxiety, and worry because we wasted too much time that should have been used to realize more of the possibilities in our life. You didn't do everything you should have, and now you can't. It's too late. And you owe yourself a debt you can never repay. Science has confirmed that our ability to be present in this moment, the now, can be measured in seconds. If you feel depressed, you are dwelling on the past. If you feel anxious, you are dwelling on the future. Guilt, shame, betrayal, disloyalty, disgrace, infidelity, fear, dread. These feelings and emotions constitute our day-to-day state of mind. Clearly, Heidegger's emotional responses to being in time are more favorable to turbulent and troubled relationships, and why anger is an important and essential feature of all human social relationships. Don't get angry. Let Stoicism show you how to chill. Delay. Take 5 breaths. Think critically. Evaluate your first feelings. Disengage. Shield your mind from outrage. Your anger will not make you a better person. Your anger will not make the world a better place. Your anger will not make an unwise person into a wise person. Your anger will not make your life or society more just. Your anger will only increase your suffering and make you more miserable. Don't get mad. Get stoic. Thank you for listening. I hope you will take what you've learned and be a better person. Think for yourself. Question everything. Accept nothing that does not agree with your own reason and good sense. And I promise you, despite its sham and drudgery, you will get on pretty well in this crazy world. I'm Dr. Robert Corey. Until we meet again, be good.